Welcome to the Friday Matinee on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. I'm George. And I'm T. Okay, T's not here yet. She's stuck in traffic somewhere. As a matter of fact, I might want to just give a little bit of a traffic update really quickly on this, because this is issue going on, the 405 merge. Nothing reported, but very slow traffic in that area. So if you are coming up to San Clarita, that's where we are, from points south, you may encounter some delays, as my lovely and or talented co-host is doing. In the meantime, lots going on here in the Santa Clarita Valley. We got the Canyon Theater Guild closing their two concurrent shows. They got CSI Wonderland and Happy Days, the new musical, closing this weekend. CanyonTheater.org, THEATRE.org. We have Golden Valley High School, their final night of Zombie Prom. It's going on tonight. The curtain opens at 7 o'clock, and that is $15 at the door. We have Canyon High School, who had, I guess, a really good opening night with Little Shop of Horrors, right? And also opening at Santa Clarita Performing Arts Center at College of the Canyons is In the Heights. Ooh, see what I did there? See what happened? So that was setting it up, saving the best for last. So here with me, some of the cast members. We have James Marino, Alan Garcia, Aaron Chalakian,
yes,
and Colin Sikafus. And as you say, like it's like I moved the names with the biggest syllables down towards the end. That's how that works. So tell me a little bit about this. You open tonight, am I right?
Yes.
Okay, very excited.
Tonight at 8.
At 8 o'clock curtain.
Mm-hmm.
Tickets are available at canyonspac.com. Now, is this at the main stage or is it the
Main stage.
Main stage.
Ooh.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Hey,
we have the
big.
biggest set in history on there.
The biggest set.
The tallest.
In COC
It goes past the proscenium.
history. Okay, because I was going to say.
World
Maybe
history.
COC.
No, but
was
it's
gonna
nearly
say.
3 stories tall. It goes past the proscenium. It's
Wow.
It's
35
colossal.
feet tall. Wow.
Yeah, just
That is amazing in itself. So if nothing else,
Go to see the set.
come for the scenery, stay for the wonderful performances.
Yes.
And also the snacks at intermission. That's important. So,
That's where I'm at.
tell me a little bit. Who wants to give me a little rundown on what the show?
Alan, go for that.
Give me an overall synopsis of the show.
In the Heights is basically about the community coming together. You see, takes place in 3 days, and you see people fall in love. You see people break up. You see businesses being lost, and it's just basically about the community coming together as one in this hot time of Washington Heights.
So
Basically what
it's
the
like
Heights is
Rent
about.
without the depression. Is that
Exactly.
what we're saying?
It's still depressing at times.
okay.
But
Yes.
yeah.
It has its highs, it has its lows.
This is theater, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay, so James, who do you play?
I play the piragua guy.
Yeah.
So I have a little shaved ice cart that I push around for the entirety of the show.
Very excited. Is there real shaved ice in it? Because
There is real shaved ice, and I serve it to my castmates on stage.
It's
so
delicious.
And they make a mess.
It's
It's
delicious.
And Alan
I play Usnavi, which is basically the narrator. He's telling the whole story about
Usnavi.
Usnavi.
Okay.
Yeah. I really said U.S. Navy, but
Very clever.
but yeah, he's basically the narrator telling the whole story, and yeah.
So this has everything kind of like your like a single set kind of thing, narration.
Correct.
A lot of stuff going in and out. Very exciting.
Absolutely.
Aaron, who do you play?
I play Camila Rosario. I am the mother of Nina Rosario, and she is the smartest girl from the neighborhood. And she went off to college, and we're all proud, and she comes home and has some pretty bad news.
Well, there's the depression right there. Wah, wah.
Yep.
Okay. And Colin.
I play a character named Benny. I work for the Rosarios, and I'm also in love with their daughter.
Wah, wah.
But they don't like that because Washington Heights, New York, where this show takes place, is a very, at this point in time, is a very culturally diverse area, and I am outside of that norm.
I see. You're not culturally diverse. Or are you too
You're not
culturally
Latino.
diverse?
I am not culturally
I
diverse.
see. So now, is this taking place? Is it like current, or is it taking place in a certain time period? or-
2008.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So the
okay.
show was written in 2008, and we're trying to keep that.
So you're trying to keep all the stuff. What was going on in 2008? People, they might have had cameras on their phones, but they were still taking pictures with point and shoots.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We
We have a lot of old flip phones.
the iPhone. Yeah, I was gonna say
The
I don't think
iPhone had
the iPhone
just come out in 2007.
Very
So
first.
there we are. What else was going on in 2008?
The Razor, the Motorola Razor.
Because
Yeah.
I am really like a stickler. If someone's gonna say it's a certain time period and it goes beyond, I'm like, that ruins it for me.
Like, hey.
I saw a play about Martin Luther King, and they had a touch tone phone in there, which didn't. It's like, oh.
Oh no, we
So
made sure all of our
1950s, okay.
phones are from 2008.
From 2008, so the Motorola Razors. I'm trying to think of what else you had. Paramore had just come out with their first album, I
Yeah,
think, right around then.
yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
So we're getting. I'm just trying to get.
Yeah,
the thing.
you're getting us in
What are we?
there.
What are we talking about fashion-wise? Are we talking about anything?
Oh, scrunchies all over
We're
the
talking
place.
zip-off jeans that come into shorts. We're talking
What show are you in?
I have gauchos, so that's when you
and
know
Matt
it's
both wear
2008.
those.
No way.
They were the jeans that you can
I
zip
got
off at the
jeans
knee.
that are not skinny, so
Oh.
Yeah, skinny jeans
I
were not
see.
a thing at this point in time because
Supposedly.
they shouldn't be a thing.
But they should never ever be a thing.
That wasn't until after Paramore.
I get you. Okay, so I'm just that's right. But and on a more serious note, though, this sounds really exciting. And honestly, people probably aren't going to go, no, that was 2008. You know, if it was like
Yeah.
1968, it'd be a different
It's
story.
very universal, absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's get into this. Now, this has been a rehearsal process. I know this has been going on for a few months now, right?
Yeah,
We
so
auditioned
it's
February 9th
Okay.
around
was
there.
the very first day of auditions. So it's been going on for a while.
Yeah, quite the adventure.
And how often? Who's directing this, by the way?
Matthew
Matt
McRae.
Matthew McRae. Okay. Is he COC? Does he work for COC?
He's directed the past two shows. He started with Rent, and then
Okay.
he did Legally
Where I
Blonde.
started.
Yes, and Colin was in Rent, and then he did Legally Blonde, and Colin was also in Legally Blonde, and now he's doing In the Heights, and Colin is also in the Heights.
It's always just get me Colin Sycophus.
Absolutely.
And pretty soon, though, it's going to be get me Colin Sycophus, only younger. So just be careful. It'll happen to you. It'll happen to you.
True.
So, but Colin, I've known you since you were, I don't know, probably like 10-ish years old.
Yeah, about 8.
Even younger then. And you go way back. I think it was probably the Canyon Theater Guild's Valley High. What is my thing?
Yeah, South Pacific, my first show.
And we also worked in Pom Pom Zombies. You're one of the younger. That's where I got to know your mother and everything else. Aaron, you've been around for a little while.
Yeah.
I would say choreographer par excellence.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
And but I know that kind of your story. You've been doing this for quite some time as well.
yes.
And so, and they're easy. I've interviewed them before. You're
yeah,
they're nobody. They're nobody.
none of the listeners care.
But Alan, tell me your story. You're a student at COC?
I am not. I'm an actor. I've heard about the show. I heard they're having auditions. I did play Lenny in Of Mice and Men when they did it at the Black Box at COC. From there, I heard that they were doing In the Heights, and I've been wanting to do that show for a while, and it was a great opportunity, you know. But I've been, I did a show before this when I was playing Jesus in the Passion Play. So after that, I like right back
Which
to
was
back. So
phenomenal.
I had no break. So it was just
Yeah.
like,
Just those back, just
Yeah.
keep at it. Are you a Santa Clarita resident, or do you come up from?
I went to Valencia, so I'm
Okay.
kind of here, but I live in San Fernando.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's just down the street,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
And James, you mentioned Canyon High School.
Oh, yes.
Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys, always. I'm going to get a lot of heat from that on this end of town. Yeah, I did
Get
theater at
out.
Canyon High School. I actually did an interview here 6 years ago for Guys and Dolls. And then I went off to college to actually just study music. So I didn't get back into theater until last year when I did a production of West Side Story over at CTG. And this is my second venture in theater as a consenting adult.
As a consenting, yes, as opposed to a non-consenting minor.
Of course.
I don't want to.
I got roped in.
Well, there we go. So that's outstanding. All right, now music, just overall theory, or is there a certain instrument that you?
Particularly theory and songwriting.
Okay.
And I went to study voice, which ended up panning out because I'm doing musical theater. It wouldn't have gone so well if I went to go study bassoon.
There you go.
That's true.
Although
Yeah.
you would have made a beautiful bassoon player.
Thank you, Colin. That's very sweet.
Yeah, there's only one famous flugelhorn player in the last 100 years, so you probably made a better choice.
Who is that,
there.
I wonder?
Now I'm trying to think of his name. It'll come to me. He's actually, it'll come to me.
I believe
it'll
you.
come to me. And I always confuse him with someone else, but it was like the 1940s, big time.
Quite
so
famous.
this is exciting, and the show is running just through the weekend, or is it a couple?
This weekend and next weekend.
Ooh,
It's
okay.
Friday, Saturday at 8, and Sunday at 2.
So if you haven't made plans for your mother on Mother's Day, that's our
Oh.
closing show.
Or bring her.
Even better.
Even better.
No, just leave her at home.
Colin,
Colin, were you
her at
suggesting
home.
we leave
I would.
her?
You know what, Mom? We were going to take you
No,
to
he
this
was
wonderful
saying
brunch.
if you haven't made plans with her,
who also
bring her to the
understands
show.
me as a
Bring
human
her
being.
to the show.
I got your back.
Any big plans for Mother's Day? You gonna bring your mom to the show, Colin?
Mama's coming to the show,
Ah,
so
very
I'm
good.
super excited to.
Well, I
Show
play
her.
a mom in the show,
So you're
I
covered.
get to celebrate
So
on
and-
Mother's Day.
And you're just, Mom, forget about it. You
Yeah,
stay home.
yeah, she needs to celebrate me.
I'm sure she'll be there. I'm sure we'll see plenty of photos posted of her proud daughter.
Oh,
It's my
Rosie
daughter.
O'Grady, what
all
a
of a
gal.
sudden, she turns into an old New York
Yeah,
mother.
yeah.
That's my daughter.
That's
up
my
there.
daughter.
And so this is really exciting. Now let's talk about the future, shall
Yes.
we?
Ooh, shall
We're
we?
talking about this next weekend. The show's over. Any other shows coming up? Aaron.
Right now, I am taking a break from theater. I have an agent, and I would like to start working
wow.
in film. So I'm going to start getting headshots and getting out there and running that course.
That sounds like a wonderful thing.
Thank you.
So you're really, I mean, because I was like, okay, there's gonna be, I know there's 2 musicals coming up. I'm sure that she's.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you're actually taking a break from those.
I haven't stopped doing theater for 3 years. I've had
Yeah.
show after show for 3 whole years. So I'm excited to. I'm scared and sad, but I'm excited to take a break and try something new.
It's always good, and it's always here. Trust me.
Yeah.
22 years and counting. It's always there if you want it.
Absolutely.
You know, as long as there's a part. And we talked about Mother's Day. That's it. So what
Yeah.
about what's coming up for you?
For me, I'm
Colin.
gonna change my venture towards CSUN, where I will study to become a special ed teacher.
Oh yes, very
and
nice.
try theater in the background on that. On top of that, I've done 2 or 3 table reads this year for independent film, so
Oh,
it
nice.
wonders where it's gonna go from here.
And Alan, what about you? You're just still gonna hit that acting, hit those boards? As it
Oh
were?
yeah, definitely. I'm gonna be. I have a couple independent films that I'm gonna be working on. Some of them are gonna be on Sundance. So I'm working on that right now. As soon as I'm done with this, and then I'm gonna be doing a lot of writing. So that'll be fun. Heading into that route. So that'll be cool.
But how do you beat playing Jesus?
Amen.
Right?
Well,
10 years.
I see what you
I didn't even notice I did
see
that.
what you
I
did
didn't even notice.
there. Oh man,
was
that
awesome.
gets no, that didn't get a drum roll. That gets a yay. That gets a yay out of it. And James, what's coming up for you?
Well, like I said, this is my second venture back into theater in so many years. So I kind of hit the ground running and realized I don't know how to do this and can't keep up. So I'm gonna take a little bit of time off to kind of learn the craft a little bit more, to really study to become an actor. I'm taking dance actually under Aaron right now.
Yes.
Aaron, by
I
the way.
teach tap dancing
She
at
does
Green Room
teach
Music
tap dance.
Studios.
But I'm gonna look into some acting classes, hopefully get better with that. And I'm right now about halfway through writing my own musical, and I'm also writing a show with Alan. So I'm in the middle of a lot of projects. So I'm gonna take a little step
Irons
back.
in the fire. Let's talk a little bit about dancing, Aaron. We talked a little bit, touched on this before, but
Yes.
you have pretty much a lifelong dancer.
Yes, since I was 4 years old. I started at Dance Studio 84 with tap. No, I started with tap and ballet, and then a ballet teacher was mean to me, so I quit ballet. So I
also
continued
mean.
with tap and jazz
Your mom's okay.
for 10 years, and then after that I did Irish dancing for 2, and now I teach tap dance. So I have a lot of students, and I like to focus on the vocab and the language of tap. And it's seeming to go really well. Most of my students in just a couple of months have progressed so much. And actually, one of my students just got into U.S. Performing Arts Summer Camp, Musical Theater Conservatory. It's a 3-week conservatory program intensive. Yeah. And I actually am an alumni of that camp, so I'm very excited for her.
Well, that's great. Tap camp.
Yes.
Amazing. Amazing.
Tap.
So in the Heights, let me ask you this: as someone who's never been, is this like a good date night? Play
yeah,
by any
absolutely.
chance?
It's
Absolutely.
everything that you would want from theater, you're going to get.
There are 2 love stories.
So this show, for those who know, is written by the same man who wrote Hamilton. His name is Lin-Manuel Miranda, and he writes in a very particular style of rap and hip hop, and it's amazing. For those of you who don't like rap, it becomes something you begin to enjoy because it's no longer
Absolutely.
about a night at the club or a night out or a very sad sob story. It's the
storytelling.
narration, and it's a new way to listen to a story.
So it's more modern. It's not suddenly breaking into Barley House.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then
Whatever,
those
right?
of you-
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
And then those of you that are like not really into musicals, like I wasn't personally like really into musicals until I heard about In the Heights, and then like there was rapping involved, and I listen to music that is rap, so I'm like that got me intrigued, and then listening to other musicals, so it's definitely
And
something
it
that
has
has everything
such a
for
good
everybody.
balance of what you would expect from a musical and some show-stopping things you would never expect to see on stage. So you have a nice plethora of emotions to feel and things to learn.
And on top of that, before In the Heights, the only other ethnically diverse show I could possibly think of was West Side Story, which portrays Puerto Rican people as bad or hateful or vengeful. And this is the first
And not
time.
one Spanish speaker among the Puerto Ricans. They all speak to each other in broken English.
Oh, yeah. And it's the first time, I think, in a musical where it's not necessarily based around a specific white group, or it's very broad, and it's all new. Every song has a little bit of Latin spice into it, and it's a beautiful show.
Yeah, and even if you're not from that culture, you see yourself in that, and you can pull so many things to your own life from this one show.
Yeah, it's a fantastic educational experience for anyone who's outside of the culture, and for anyone who is inside the culture. It's a great way to actually see that represented on stage, rather than see the 19 millionth production of Oklahoma. To go get to see something that reflects contemporary times and contemporary diversity.
And that's what's important. I was going to talk about that, the evolution of the musical. We're coming back around, like we talk about Hamilton, which sounds just like a history piece, but there must be some. And admittedly, haven't heard any of the music. I know who, and I gotta admit, I'm not a huge show tune guy.
That's fair.
But
So that's why you should listen to
it's
Hamilton.
nothing like you would ever
Because
expect.
that's
It's
not
regarded
wrong.
as a hip-opera.
Hip-hop.
Hip-opera. I've never heard
colloquial term.
that.
Oh yeah,
That's
I
yeah.
like
because
that.
it's
I
entirely
actually have heard that.
It's
I'm
all
old
sung
school.
through. There's no dialogue. It's all music, but most of it is rap. There are some showstoppers, but it's a lot of really rhythmic storytelling. It's really
See,
incredible.
and I'm thinking it's going to be like a bunch of guys in powdered wigs and putting their.
Oh, that's absolutely not what it is.
So Lin-Manuel Miranda's vision was to make a history lesson with rap and hip hop in today's world. So if there's going to be George Washington be played by a half black man named Chris Jackson, and of course everybody freaked out for a while, but once you hear the music and the story is told, it makes complete sense. And another thing Lynn said in an interview was, for In the Heights, I'm not specifically looking for Hispanic people to play these roles, but what I'm looking for is for one day some white kid in high school to play Usnavi and know what the Puerto Rican flag looks like. It's an educational thing.
And so kind of cross-pollinating the acting scene on that. And I think it's important. And I like the idea there that, I mean, going back to Hamilton really quickly, is kind of like the modern day version of Schoolhouse Rock sort of thing, only for adults, which I think is cool from my generation. You know?
Oh, I know Schoolhouse Rock.
Oh yeah.
VHS
Lolly,
for the
lolly,
win.
lolly, get your adverbs here. But this is really cool. So again, we're talking about In the Heights, and we're also talking about all kinds of musicals here, which I think is wonderful. But In the Heights, kind of a modern, awesome sounding, youth-oriented, but still something for everybody type musical.
Absolutely.
And by youth, I mean because I'm at my age, anybody under the age of 40 is youth-oriented, is what I mean by that. So
Reasonable.
James, Alan, Aaron, Colin, all in the show. And how many cast members are in this?
About 20.
20, 22 or 23, I think.
Yeah, about that.
So that's awesome. And perfect. Tickets at canyonspac.com. On the main stage.
Main
even.
stage.
The big. Now, I know you've done the Colin main stage stuff there. You've done a few. Aaron, how about you?
I did Shrek the Musical a couple
Okay.
of summers ago.
And about you guys, James and Alan, first time on this stage? Or
I was on the stage once with Escape years back when they did Peter Pan, but that was
you're
many moons ago.
one of about 500 kids? Is that?
Yeah, I was actually Mr. Darling. I was
wow.
a 16-year-old Mr. Darling.
Well, I'll be.
Hey.
Wow, we have something in common. I was a 16-year-old Mr. Darling.
We've all
just
been
a couple
there.
months ago. And Alan, what about you?
This is my first time on the main stage, so I'm really excited to take it all in and see the energy from the audience tonight.
wow.
So it's gonna be
Dun,
great.
dun, dun. So it'll be really exciting. So again, In the Heights, Santa Clarita Performing Arts Center at College of the Canyons this weekend and next. All showtimes. Get your tickets now. canyonspac.com. James, Alan, Aaron, and Colin, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
Thank you
so
for
much.
having us.
Thank you.
Always an exciting time. So we will be back with our second round of guests from The Wedding Singer coming up after this, the Friday Matinee on your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS.